Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about Mars of Destruction. This is going to be a quick one because I didn't even want to make this video, but I told people that I would if I ever watched it, and I also told a few friends that I would, so I'm kind of obligated to do this one. Mars of Destruction is a 20-minute long OVA. It's credited as being the worst anime of all time, or one of the worst anime of all time, and there's simply no redeeming qualities about it. It's 20 minutes long, and it simply does nothing. If you're someone who just likes to watch really bad, cringe-worthy anime, then you're still not going to enjoy this, because I like to watch anime like that sometimes as a guilty pleasure, and this, by no stretch of my imagination, could qualify as being anyone's guilty pleasure, because it's not even water. It's like reviewing the taste of the bottle the water came in. It's simply nothing. And the OVA itself is basically about these people that are coming back from space. They bring some sort of alien device with them. Their plane breaks up in re-entry to Earth, and next thing we know, we have aliens. They're fighting the humans. Their heads are exploding when they're shooting them with their lasers. They look like Kermit the Frog with lasers coming out of their mouth, and it was really cheesy and corny. Then you had the people that finally beat them, and there was really nothing to it as a whole. There was really no redeeming quality. There was no purpose. There was no point. I have no idea who gave this company money to even make something like this, because it is simply terrible. As far as the characters are concerned, calling them one-dimensional characters would be vastly overrating their potential or their worth within the story, because they didn't even need to have names. They had names, I don't remember any of them. They are the true definition of faces with voices. That's really all they were. They serve no purpose in the story. The story itself really has no purpose because it goes nowhere. There are no themes present. It tries to have some sort of theme at the end about how humans are really the ones that invaded Earth and etc. But, you know, it's pointless, to be honest. As far as the animation is concerned, this came out in, I think, the mid-2000s, but it looks like somebody from the 90s got a hold of something from the future of what anime was going to look like in the mid-2000s and tried to recreate that. The anime itself runs at about 30 frames a second, I think, but it looks like it's animated at about 15 frames a second. Every single moment that we see movement in is really slow moving. Like, if somebody moves their arm, you see it frame per frame, and it just moves so slowly, it looks like they used the least amount of effort possible. Honestly, I watched Inferno Cop recently, and Inferno Cop had more effort into its animation than this did, just with sliding things around. That actually had effort there. This was just effortless scribble as far as I'm concerned. The animation, the art style, there's nothing redeeming about it. The sound quality is really terrible as well. The voice acting was bad with bad equipment, and also they had this background music which didn't fit any of the scenes. They had some sort of classical music playing during the big finale action scene of the movie. If I'm going to give this a score overall, I would give this my lowest rating of a 0.5 out of 10. I can't really give anything a 0, but this definitely earns that 0.5 out of 10. As far as my overall enjoyment level goes, I strangely enough would have to give this a 5, because 5 for enjoyment is my baseline. I didn't feel anything about it, so it stays at that 5. If I really hated it, then I would give it less than 5. If I liked it, then I would give it more than 5. And this makes me feel nothing, so I just give it a 5. And it's basically like the equivalent. The only way that I can really explain this in terms that I think anyone here who hasn't seen it would really understand is, if you think about 3 YouTube videos, you have one that was you really enjoy, is very well constructed, and then you have another that is really bad and poorly constructed, and you really dislike that one. If you were to compare those two, you have one that you really love, one that you really hate, and then you have one where it's like 5 to 10 minutes of the person talking and saying absolutely nothing. This is the equivalent of a chapter or episode reaction, basically. It's simply nothing in video form. It's air animated with faces and action. Stated simply, do not watch this anime. Take it from me. I have a lot of guilty pleasures, and I have no problem admitting that. Like, for example, when I reviewed Legend of the Overfiend, I gave it a very low final score, but I gave it a high enjoyment level. I have no problem with stating something when it's a guilty pleasure, and there really is no redeeming quality in this. So, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below, and I'll see you next time.